When Charles Darwin first discovered a tiny frog in the wilderness of Chile, he probably never imagined that it would one day find itself on the brink of extinction. Habitat loss and a deadly fungal disease have pushed this tiny amphibian to the edge. But thanks to the dedicated experts at the London Zoo, hope is far from lost. Hey, I'm your host Regis, and welcome to this month's edition of Good News, where we celebrate the most fascinating stories from all around the world. From the first ever kangaroo embryos made by humans to pioneering pig kidney transplants that could one day save thousands of lives. This is your monthly dose of good news. Our journey starts with the story of the Mount Lyell shrew, a tiny creature that lives in a small area of the Sierra Nevada mountain range in California in the United States. Since its discovery over a century ago, this cute little animal has rarely been seen and never photographed. The Mount Lyell shrew is a small, mole-like mammal, less than 10 centimeters long, weighing around 4 to 5 grams. It's pretty easy to see how such a small animal kept itself hidden from prying eyes. But in 2024, all of that changed when 3 determined college students set out on a mission in the Eastern Sierra with one goal: capture live images of this elusive shrew. With permission from California's Department of Fish and Wildlife, in early November, they dug over 100 small pitfall traps near streams. Since shrews have incredibly fast metabolisms, they have to eat every couple of hours to survive. That meant that they had to be photographed and released as soon as possible. And to everyone's surprise, the students actually did catch quite a few animals. Genetic testing later confirmed that at least 5 of the captured shrews were Mount Lyell shrews. But this mission is more important than meets the eye. You see, most species that disappear from our planet are small mammals just like these, which often go unnoticed. This inspiring story brought a tiny hidden creature into the world's spotlight. Our next story takes us to the London Zoo, where researchers have made a breakthrough in preserving a very important type of frog. Native to Chile, this frog, known as the southern Darwin frog, was first described by Charles Darwin on one of his epic voyages. In recent years, its numbers have plummeted by 90% due to the deadly chytrid fungus, which is now causing a pandemic, affecting around 500 different species of amphibians. Last October, conservationists embarked on an urgent rescue mission, collecting 55 healthy specimens from remote Chilean habitats and transporting them in climate-controlled conditions to London. Each weighing only 2 grams and measuring just a few centimeters, the frogs were settled into a newly built biosecure enclosure. Then, scientists made a surprising discovery. 11 male frogs successfully gave birth to the first live generation at the zoo. Male brooding is a distinct feature that separates Darwin's frog from any other frog species. You could say that this frog completely redefines fatherhood, because after the female lays eggs and tadpoles are born, they swim inside the male's vocal sac where they can mature in safety. In this case, this unique ability allowed for 33 little froglets to be born. Scientists hope that the success of the project will not only lead to the salvation of the species, but also help them to find a solution to the global chytrid pandemic. And while nature fights for survival, researchers are also working to protect our own health and longevity. Can omega-3s really slow aging? A recent study spearheaded by scientists from Monash University and the University of Zurich just proved that a well-known supplement known for boosting brain, heart, and eye health could also significantly slow down your aging and help you to live longer. Before we cover this incredible story, we quickly want to thank our partner CyberGhost VPN for sponsoring this video. With over 38 million users worldwide and over 20,000 excellent reviews on Trustpilot, it's one of the best VPNs out there. So let us quickly tell you why CyberGhost is such a great choice. A VPN is essential for protecting your digital privacy. Plenty of eyes are watching you every time you go online, and even incognito mode doesn't prevent that. Your internet service provider, your school or work's IT department, even your home Wi-Fi router, they can all track what you do online. That's where CyberGhost VPN comes in. Simply select one of their over 100 locations before you browse to encrypt and reroute all of your traffic through their secure servers. This way, no one will even know about your online activity. CyberGhost also unlocks geo-restricted games and content from over 40 streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney+. You can even score better deals online by simply changing your virtual location. It works on all major devices and operating systems too: Windows, Mac OS, Android, iOS, and you can protect up to 7 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with friends or family. With our link, cyberghostvpn.com/goodnews, you get their best deal ever. Just $2.03 a month plus 4 months for free, which is 84% off. There's a 45-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. It's a great product, we can definitely recommend it, and by signing up using our link in the description, you also help us to create more videos just like this one. And now, back to the good news. The study focused on the anti-aging benefits of omega-3 fatty acids, and it involved 777 men from 5 European countries aged 70 or above. Divided into 8 groups, they were given varying doses of omega-3 and vitamin D, with an added 30-minute workout 3 times per week. The group given just 1 gram of omega-3 showed that their biological age slowed down by about 8 to 10% over 3 years. In layman's terms, their biological age was reduced by almost 4 months. When that treatment was combined with around 50 micrograms of vitamin D and a routine of strength training, the results were even more impressive, with participants also showing lower risk for cancer and frailty. So if you're looking for ways to age gracefully, maybe it's time to consider your omega-3 intake by eating foods like fish and flaxseed. The omega-3 study isn't the only research showing that everyday foods can help to slow aging. Another recent study from Monash University analyzed data from over 8,700 adults aged 70 and above to determine if eating eggs can help us live longer. The research showed that for older adults, consuming between 1 and 6 eggs per week can lower the risk of dying from heart disease by a whopping 29%. Even better, it reduced overall mortality by about 17% compared to the control group. They compared groups who rarely or never ate eggs with those who enjoyed them on a weekly basis. And the results were pretty surprising, which takes us to the question, why are eggs so good? Well, eggs are a nutrient-dense food packed with high-quality protein and essential vitamins like B, D, A, and E, along with choline and important minerals. This new research shows that moderate egg intake not only nourishes the body, but may also contribute to healthier aging. Now let's dive into the deep blue sea, where researchers finally unlocked a secret part in the life of a very special creature, the sea turtle. We already know a lot about the life of sea turtles, but the time after the tiny hatchlings leave the beach and before they return as grown adults was mostly a mystery, known among researchers as the lost years. Up until now, experts believed the hatchlings would just drift passively with the currents until they were strong enough to return to coastal waters. But that idea has been proven wrong. Using high-tech solar-powered GPS tags attached to the shells of 114 young turtles in the Gulf of Mexico, marine scientists were able to track their movement with truly surprising results. The little turtles were actively swimming, making decisions on where to go and what to avoid. The scientists even compared their movement to drifting buoys. While more than half the buoys washed ashore, the turtles made sure they stayed in open waters, clearly steering their own course. This discovery challenges long-held beliefs about turtle behavior and could play a critical role in conservation efforts for endangered sea turtle species. This month is packed with incredible animal stories, and here's one that could change conservation efforts forever. In a world first, scientists at the University of Queensland have recently managed to produce kangaroo embryos using in vitro fertilization. Australia is home to the world's richest diversity of marsupials, animals that carry their young in a pouch, but it also has one of the highest mammal extinction rates. Many of its unique species, like koalas, Tasmanian devils, and northern hairy-nosed wombats, are under severe threat from habitat loss, climate change, and invasive species. In order to preserve the genetic heritage of these vulnerable animals, scientists are exploring innovative reproduction technologies. In this particular research, experts used eggs and sperm from eastern gray kangaroos. The team managed to employ intracytoplasmic sperm injection in an attempt to create embryos. In layman's terms, so that even I can understand, that means that a single sperm was directly injected into an egg's cytoplasm, which enables fertilization. The team successfully produced 20 embryos, which was not just a huge technical feat, it was a massive step towards the conservation of marsupials across the globe. This technique could help to reintroduce genetic material that would otherwise be lost, providing a lifeline for endangered kangaroos, koalas, wombats, and even possums. Refining this method could pave the way for conservation efforts that protect Australia's iconic species. In the world of medicine, another huge leap just gave hope to thousands of patients awaiting a kidney transplant. Did you know that kidneys are the most sought-after organs for transplantation? Over 90,000 Americans are currently on the wait list for a kidney transplant. Imagine if there was a solution where all these people could easily get a new lease on life. Well, thanks to United Therapeutics and eGenesis, that future may be closer than ever. The two US biotech companies have just received FDA approval to start clinical trials using gene-edited pig kidneys for human transplants. Now, that might sound kinda strange, but genetically speaking, pigs and humans are pretty similar. By modifying pig organs with precise gene edits, these companies are paving the way to make the organs more compatible with human recipients. The trials will be focusing on patients with end-stage renal disease who could face long waits for a donor kidney. This innovative approach could revolutionize organ transplantation, potentially reducing or even eliminating the need for dialysis. While the medical community makes strides in saving kidney patients, ecologists are making literal waves with new legislation that's reshaping how we protect our oceans. The Constitutional Court of Ecuador has just declared that coastal marine ecosystems now have legal rights. In simple terms, this means that the ocean and its vibrant communities, from fish and coral to sea turtles, are recognized as having the right to exist, thrive, and regenerate. This is a historic first for marine environments in Ecuador, a country already famous for protecting nature through its rights for nature law. It looks like Ecuador keeps surprising us with one piece of good news after the other. This ruling came after industrial fishers challenged a regulation that restricts fishing within an 8 nautical mile zone. While the fishermen argued that these limits threatened their economic rights, the court cited scientific evidence showing that these protections are essential to preserve fish populations and maintain healthy marine ecosystems. This decision reinforces that protecting our oceans isn't just about saving wildlife, it's about securing the food and livelihoods of thousands of coastal communities. By giving nature its own rights, future policies on fishing, aquaculture, and even oil and gas development will now have to respect the intrinsic value of marine life. While on the topic of protecting ecosystems, we have to mention the spectacular comeback of the River Seine. The Seine was once so choked by pollution that swimming in it was unthinkable. But now, thanks to decades of improved wastewater treatment and innovative urban policies, it's transforming into a vibrant waterway teeming with life. Once nearly devoid of life, the Seine now hosts nearly 40 officially recorded fish species, alongside returning eels, salmon, and even kingfishers. Marine biologist Bill Francois called it a wild, clear aquarium, where fish and other creatures are multiplying. The turnaround began with Paris's first water purification station in 1929, and over the years, more stations were built, slashing pollutants by tenfold. Such efforts paid off spectacularly, so much so that in July 2024, Mayor Anne Hidalgo swam in the Seine, and by 2025, swimming will be allowed at 3 designated spots along the river. If you love a good comeback story as much as we do, share your thoughts with us in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel to be sure that you get your regular dose of good news. With that being said, let's hop on over to Switzerland, where a medical team has just created an injectable bone gel that could cure osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is a condition where bones lose their strength and density, which makes them weak and fragile. Traditional treatments often take up to 12 months to show results and come with a laundry list of side effects. That's where the innovative injectable bone gel comes in. It was developed by Professor Dominique Pialetti and his team at the Swiss Federal Technology Institute of Lausanne, and is now further advanced by the spin-off company Flowbone. Cool name, right? The hydrogel is actually a mix of hyaluronic acid and nanoparticles of hydroxyapatite, the main building blocks of bone tissue. In lab tests on rats with bone loss, the gel was injected directly into weakened leg bones. In just 2 to 4 weeks, the treated area saw a 2 to 3 times increase in bone density. In some cases, when combined with a bone-building hormone and a drug that slows bone degradation, density jumped up nearly 5 times. These impressive results could mean faster, safer treatment for osteoporosis, reducing fracture risks and improving quality of life. Right now, the research is still in its early stages, and the team is waiting for regulatory approval before they can start human trials. Even so, the future looks very promising for people with osteoporosis. While scientists work on promising osteoporosis treatments, climate change experts are trying to reduce methane emissions from rice fields. It might surprise you to learn that rice fields are one of the world's biggest sources of methane, a greenhouse gas that's 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide. In this case, the methane is produced when soil microbes break down the organic compounds released by rice plants in flooded fields. Researchers compared a standard Japanese rice variety, Nipponbare, with a new specially bred strain. They discovered that the innovative strain secretes significantly less fumarate from its roots, one of the key compounds that fuel methane-producing microbes. Interestingly, this new variety also releases more ethanol, which appears to further reduce methane production. And best of all, they developed the strain using nothing more than traditional crossbreeding techniques. Field trials conducted across various sites in China confirmed the lab results. The new rice variant reduces methane emissions by around 70%. And the cherry on top of the cake is that it also boasts impressive yields of about 9 tons per hectare, nearly double the global average. If researchers manage to scale up the technology, it could play a vital role in curbing global warming while improving our food supplies. While these advances in rice cultivation are set to reduce methane emissions, researchers in the energy sector are on the verge of creating batteries that are both longer lasting and more environmentally friendly. Scientists are also innovating in the energy sector with aluminum-ion batteries enhanced by just a pinch of salt. Researchers in Beijing have developed an innovative aluminum-ion battery that could transform energy storage. Unlike lithium-ion batteries, which rely on flammable liquid electrolytes, this innovative design uses a solid-state electrolyte enhanced by adding in inert aluminum fluoride salt. This salt forms a porous three-dimensional structure that acts like a sponge, stabilizing the liquid and allowing aluminum ions to flow smoothly. In lab tests, these aluminum batteries retained 99% of their original capacity even after 10,000 charge-discharge cycles. That's a dramatic improvement over typical lithium-ion batteries, which can lose up to 20% of their capacity after just 300 to 500 cycles. They also demonstrated excellent resistance to extreme temperatures, up to around 200 degrees Celsius, and even withstood repeated punctures without leaking. Not only are these batteries safer and longer lasting, but they're also more sustainable. Key materials like aluminum fluoride salt can be recovered and recycled, lowering production costs and reducing environmental impact. We love hearing from you guys, so let us know which of our stories today inspired you the most. And if you want to try out CyberGhost VPN, make sure to use our link in the description. CyberGhost VPN will protect your data while you browse and give you full access to all blocked content on the internet. It's a great VPN, just like their current deal, for $2.03 a month and 45 days money back guaranteed, so it's totally risk-free. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.